that concludes this mission briefing, fellow warriors of knowledge. We've navigated through the trenches of information, delving deep into the battlefields of history. As we wrap up this episode in our campaign for understanding, remember that knowledge is your most potent weapon. Stay vigilant and keep sharpening your intellectual arsenal. We'll rendezvous again for another episode, continuing our relentless pursuit of enlightenment. Until then, keep your mind sharp, your curiosity burning, and your determination unwavering. Simultaneously, you are hereby alerted to our outposts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, fortifying our information dissemination. Should you possess any pertinent intelligence to bolster our mission, transmit your findings with no hesitation. Your contributions shall be prominently acknowledged within the operational archives. Furthermore, for those prepared to provide substantial reinforcement, navigate to our Patreon forward base and enlist. Your support is integral to sustaining our forward thrust. Carry forth the legacy. Dismissed. Welcome to the Special Forces in World War II podcast. In today's shorter episode, we delve into a lesser-known but equally crucial aspect of Operation Overlord, Band Beach, the forgotten beach of D-Day. While most are familiar with the infamous beaches of Sword, Gold, Juno, Utah, and Omaha, Band Beach played a pivotal role in the success of the Allied invasion. Band Beach, strategically located east of the Orne River, was critical for safeguarding the eastern flank of the D-Day landings. Unlike the more renowned beaches, Band Beach's significance lay in its role as the target for two vital commando operations aimed at neutralizing formidable German defenses that could jeopardize the success of the entire invasion. In the shadow of more famous landing sites, Band Beach became the stage for a series of daring and dangerous missions. The commandos of No. 46 Royal Marine Commando were tasked with one of the most challenging objectives: to neutralize the heavily fortified German batteries at Merville, Holgate, and Benneville. These batteries posed a significant threat to the Allied forces landing on Sword Beach, just 12 kilometers to the west. The Merville battery, with its steel-reinforced concrete casemates and formidable artillery, was a primary concern. The Holgate and Benneville batteries, perched atop high cliffs and equipped with powerful guns, added to the complexity of the mission. The German defenses were designed to withstand intense bombardments and were supported by networks of tunnels, bunkers, and anti-tank obstacles. In this episode, we will explore the meticulous planning, the intense pre-invasion bombings, and the heroic actions of the British 6th Airborne Division and the Royal Navy. We will recount the stories of the paratroopers who dropped behind enemy lines to disable the Merville battery and the naval bombardments that targeted the Holgate and Benneville batteries. We will also delve into the dramatic moments when the commandos of No. 46 Royal Marine Commando embarked on their mission, only to face unforeseen challenges and last-minute changes. Their journey, from the Isle of Wight to the shores of Normandy, highlights the unpredictability and chaos of war. Despite the intense preparations and the best-laid plans, the reality on the ground often dictated a different course of action. This will be a shorter episode, but no less significant in highlighting the valor and dedication of those who served. Band Beach is the intended location for two commando operations designed to protect Sword Beach to the west. This beach plays a critical role in the overall D-Day plan due to its strategic position east of the Orne River, which is covered by several formidable German batteries. Band Beach spans an area from the west break of Quisteram to the western outskirts of Villers-sur-Mer, measuring almost 18 kilometers. The beach is divided into 4 zones: Able, Baker, Charlie, and Dog. The German defenses along Band Beach are formidable. Among the many gun batteries, 3 are particularly concerning: Merville, Howlgate, and Benneville. The Merville Battery, the nearest to the British landing zones, is a primary concern due to its potential to disrupt the British landings 12 kilometers west on Sword Beach. It comprises 4 1.8-meter thick, steel-reinforced concrete gun casemates, each housing Czech-made 100 howitzers with a range of 8,400 meters. The battery is defended by a 20 anti-aircraft gun and multiple machine guns, surrounded by barbed wire and a minefield. The entire area, measuring 640 by 460 meters, is surrounded by 2 barbed wire obstacles 4.6 meters deep and 1.5 meters high. This barbed wire also marks the exterior border of a 91-meter deep minefield. An additional obstacle is an anti-tank ditch that covers any approach from the nearby coast. The Merville Battery Garrison is the 1716 Artillery Battalion of the 716 Infantry Division commanded by Oberleutnant Raymond Steiner. The Howlgate Battery, perched atop 90-meter-high cliffs, features robust concrete pits housing 6 captured 155 cannons of French origin, dating back to World War I. These pits are designed to shield the cannons from aerial and naval bombardment. The battery includes a network of tunnels leading to ammunition stores and a sophisticated communication system to coordinate targeting. This design facilitates efficient resupply and protection of munitions. The Howlgate Battery Garrison is 3 Company of the 1255 Heeres Küsten Artillerie Abteilung, HKAA, commanded by Major Fritz Günther. The Benneville Battery, also known as the Montcanissy Battery, is located 8 kilometers further east. Constructed in 1942, this 25-hectare bunker complex houses 6 captured French 155 guns. By January 1944, the Germans enhanced the complex with additional casemates and defensive structures. The entire complex is interconnected by 250 meters of tunnels, facilitating rapid movement and communication. A post-fire control bunker is also integrated into the complex, allowing for coordinated and effective artillery fire control. The Benneville Battery Garrison is 2 Company of the 1255 Heeres Küsten Artillerie Abteilung, HKAA, commanded by Major Fritz Günther. Band Beach's purpose is to support the landings at Sword Beach by neutralizing the 3 main German artillery positions that could threaten the eastern flank of the invasion. In the weeks leading up to D-Day, American B-26 Marauders target the 3 batteries to damage them. In the early hours of June 6, 1944, elements of the British 6th Airborne Division are dropped near the Merville Battery to neutralize it. On D-Day, the Royal Navy targets the other 2 batteries. HMS Roberts and HMS Mauritius bombard the Howlgate Battery, while HMS Ramillies focuses on the Benneville Battery. If the bombardments fail, 2 commando operations, Operation Frog and Operation Deer, are planned to take out the threat of the 2 batteries. No. 46 Royal Marine Commando, a battalion-sized unit, is tasked with these operations. They are transported on HMS Prince Albert and HMS Princess Margaret, escorted by 1 harbour defence motor launch, 2 rocket-armed tank landing craft, and 2 landing craft support large. When possible and available, a landing craft assault, obstacle clearing, is made available to the assault force. Both operations are scheduled for 2 o'clock on June 7, 1944, in case the naval bombardment fails. During a bombing raid on April 23, 1944, a 500-pound bomb strikes a tunnel at the Benneville Battery, leading to an explosion that causes considerable chaos within the German ranks. At least 40 German soldiers are injured. In the same attack, the Western H-679 casemate, still under construction, sustains a direct hit, cracking its foundation and rendering it structurally unsound. Consequently, this bunker is never completed. Another bombardment on May 19, 1944, targets the Benneville Battery again. During this attack, the first casemate is struck, severely damaging the 155 mm gun housed within it. A second casemate, still awaiting the installation of its cannon, is also hit, ensuring it never receives its weapon. No. 46 Royal Marine Commando leaves Shanklin Transit Camp on June 1, 1944, and embarks on their transport ships with full equipment. As D-Day arrives, the effectiveness of the pre-invasion bombings becomes evident, with only 4 155 mm guns remaining operational at the Benneville Battery. 2 of these guns are positioned on open platforms, exposed and vulnerable to further attacks, while the other 2 are protected within the remaining intact casemates. At 5:23 on D-Day, the naval bombardment begins. HMS Roberts opens fire on the Houlgate Battery from 18 kilometers offshore, unleashing 27 15-inch shells. Despite the intense bombardment, the concrete casemates and strategic positioning of the guns result in minimal damage. HMS Ramillies targets the Benneville Battery, successfully knocking out 4 of the 6 guns in an 80-minute barrage with 15-inch shells. By evening, the remaining 2 guns at the Benneville Battery are silenced. Just before the naval bombardment starts, around 5 o'clock, 150 British paratroopers of the 9th Parachute Battalion attack the Merville Battery. Lieutenant Colonel Terence Otway leads the assault. The operation begins with explosives creating paths through the battery's defenses, alerting the Germans who respond with heavy fire, causing many casualties among the British paratroopers. Despite this, some manage to reach and attack Casemate 4 with grenades and gunfire, while other casemates are cleared using fragmentation and white phosphorus grenades. During the assault, 22 Germans are killed and 23 are captured, but many Germans escape by hiding in underground bunkers. German Commander Colonel Steiner, away at a command bunker, rushes to Merville Battery but cannot enter due to intense British fire. Meanwhile, a reconnaissance patrol with a half-track anti-aircraft gun arrives and engages the paratroopers. With the battery in British hands, but lacking sufficient explosives, the paratroopers use their limited plastic explosives to try and disable the guns. The German commander at Merville Battery requests the Houlgate Battery to fire on his position, adding to the chaos as the surviving paratroopers leave the battery and head for their next target. After the British paratroopers leave, the Merville Battery is reoccupied by the Germans, who try to make the damaged guns operational again. Meanwhile, around 12:30, the ships carrying No. 46 Royal Marine Commando form up off the Isle of Wight, sailing towards Normandy. At 18:30, the convoy arrives at anchorage at Juno Beach, off St. Aubin-sur-Mer, and proceeds 1 hour later to the anchorage of Sword Beach, off Ouistreham, near the town of Ouistreham at 19:30 hours, reporting to the flag officer, "Force S here." They prepare for their nighttime assaults on Band Beach. However, the commander of Force S, overseeing the bombardment group, assesses the situation and decides around 22 o'clock that the landings are unnecessary. Benneville's guns are already destroyed, and the Houlgate Battery is not causing significant problems since its guns are probably out of range of the invasion beaches and ships. The poor sea state further complicates the decision, leading to the cancellation of Operations Frog and Deer. The convoy leaves the Sword Beach area and anchors off Juno Beach for the night. During the morning of June 7, 1944, No. 46, Royal Marine Commando, receives a signal at 6 o'clock instructing them to come under the command of the 1st Corps and land on Nan White Beach as soon as possible. This prompts a series of hasty readjustments and improvisations to their equipment to prepare for the imminent landing. By 9 o'clock, No. 46 Royal Marine Commando successfully lands by the ship's flotillas on Nan White Beach. Upon landing, they receive orders to capture the strongpoint in the Petit-Enfer area. This mission is crucial as securing Petit-Enfer is key to advancing inland and supporting the broader objectives of the D-Day invasion. During the morning, shells start falling on the beaches of Ouistreham Riva Bella to the east of the Orne estuary. Believing that the fire is coming from the Merville Battery, the British High Command decides to launch a new operation against it. No, 4 Troop and 5 Troop of Nominal 3 Commando, under the command of Major John Pooley, carry out another attack on the Merville Battery. Approaching from Le Plain to the south, known 4 Troop moves across open ground before taking up position behind the hedgerows 250 meters from the battery. From there, they lay down covering fire for No. 5 Troop, which approaches from the east with fixed bayonets. After a stubborn German defense, during which a number of commandos, including Major Pooley, are killed, the commandos take the battery. However, shortly afterward, they are counterattacked by a German force supported by half-tracks and self-propelled artillery. Casualties during this German counterattack are high, and eventually the commandos are forced to withdraw back to Le Plain. This retreat concludes today's episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Special Forces in World War II podcast, where we explored the crucial yet often overlooked story of Band Beach. While the more famous beaches of Sword, Gold, Juno, Utah, and Omaha are etched in the annals of history, it's important to remember the pivotal role Band Beach played in the success of Operation Overlord. The efforts of the commandos of No. 46 Royal Marine Commando, the British 6th Airborne Division, and the Royal Navy ensured that the eastern flank of the D-Day landings remained secure. Their bravery and determination in the face of formidable German defenses at Merville, Houlgate, and Benneville were nothing short of heroic. As we wrap up this shorter episode, we honor the sacrifices and valor of those who fought on Band Beach. Their contributions were vital to the overall success of the D-Day invasion and the eventual liberation of Europe. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the lesser-known aspects of Operation Overlord. If you have any questions or want to share your thoughts on this episode, feel free to reach out to us on social media or through our website. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for more stories of bravery, strategy, and sacrifice from the Special Forces of World War II. Until next time, this is Special Forces in World War II podcast, reminding you that even the lesser-known stories hold great significance in our shared history. Thank you for listening. And that concludes this mission briefing, fellow warriors of knowledge. We've navigated through the trenches of information, delving deep into the battlefields of history. As we wrap up this episode in our campaign for understanding, remember that knowledge is your most potent weapon. Stay vigilant and keep sharpening your intellectual arsenal. We'll rendezvous again for another episode, continuing our relentless pursuit of enlightenment. Until then, keep your mind sharp, your curiosity burning, and your determination unwavering. Simultaneously, you are hereby alerted to our outposts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, fortifying our information dissemination. Should you possess any pertinent intelligence to bolster our mission, transmit your findings with no hesitation. Your contributions shall be prominently acknowledged within the operational archives. Furthermore, for those prepared to provide substantial reinforcement, navigate to our Patreon forward base and enlist. Your support is integral to sustaining our forward thrust. Carry forth the legacy. Dismissed.